Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how to sort out your utility room. I know this is completely different to my normal videos, but I've had a bit of a break from crafting just because I've had so much going on over the summer. We've been on holiday, we went to Mexico, which was great, and now I'm trying to sort out some parts of the house. So the best place for me to start was the utility because it's fairly small, and I didn't want to take on a massive project straight away. But I thought of it as a crafting project, and I will show you why. So before I actually start showing you what I've done, I'm just going to quickly open the cupboards just to show you my level of organisation. So I hope you can appreciate this. The ones who are really into organisation will definitely appreciate it. Here we go. So that's the start. And that one. And basically just my worktops. Show you this cupboard from top through to the bottom. This cupboard, which is still a work in progress, and this one under the sink, which has got all the spare bits in. So I have spent quite some time just organising things and putting things into containers. I've really taken my time to work out what I needed, and I think that's the key, because before actually working out how many containers you need, for example, you need to think about what you actually have in your cupboards. I know it sounds simple, but you know, sometimes you just need that little push to get started. So it can work out quite expensive, and you can sort of give yourself a budget if you like. And I think that does work well for most families, because especially now that with the cost of living rising, be careful that you're not over buying, for example. I think we all have a tendency to overbuy products, so it's a good way to sort of take an inventory of what you have in your cupboards, and then you can work out what you're going to do from there. So how I approached it was, I thought of this as like a craft project, and I thought to myself, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the labels the way I would like to have them made, and you know, just make it look pretty. I guess it can be quite artistic, you know, to do. So if it's all about your frame of mind. So if you think of it as a craft project and you want to be a bit arty-farty, you can. It's one of those projects. Anyway, I'll stop waffling on now. What I would suggest, first thing, is to make a list. Now, this is my very messy list, but the reason I'd say is to make a list is because it's easy to get carried away and think, right, I need this for my utility room, I need that, or any room really. This method would apply to any room in your house. Best thing to do, take everything out, cupboard by cupboard, and list everything in the cupboard that you use. And anything else that you don't use, maybe make a separate list of things that you would either need to sell or find a new home for, or get rid of in some way or another. So I'd make a list of that as well, but put that separately to what you actually want in the room. Once you've got your list, what I would say is break the list down into the type of product it is. So if you've got, for example, your spray bottles, you've got your, you know, your squeezy bottles if you need them, or your tall bottles, anything into some sort of order so you can recognise the products as a collective. So all your sprays, for example, would go in one. You could even put things like, if you've got them, I've got hats, scarves and gloves in my utility room, because we also have like a shoe rack and a coat stand here as well. So, you know, we do tend to keep our hats and gloves here as well. So I always take that, I've taken that into account as well. So anything you have in your cupboards, maybe your first aid box, that will be another thing. you know, what else have I got here? I've got things like shopping bags and plastic bags. I've got my stain removers, I've got detergents. I've even got things like pegs and things like that. So if you just start sectioning off different things, like you can keep, depending on how you want to organise. So if you want all your washing things together, for example, and your cleaning things separately, then, you know, everyone's unique. So you organise it how you want to. And that's the beauty of a list, because you can squiggle it out and start again if you're not happy. Okay, so once you've got your list and once you've divided it all into the relevant groupings, what you would then need to do is work out how many containers you would need. So for myself, I worked out that I needed 7 sprays, and so I knew then that I would need to find 7 types of, 7 spray bottles. Sounds simple enough, but I wanted them all to be quite uniform. So I went for this kind of glass spray bottle, and it was just clear, and I just liked the style of the bottle. So you can really have a good look and see what's available out there. If you want to go for the same sort of uniform look, then I suggest you make sure that there are enough in stock and enough available to fulfill your requirements. But also, if you are going for a bit more of an eclectic look and you just want a mix, you know, a range of different items, then, you know, really do shop around and have a good look. There's so much on offer out there. Remember to keep an eye on the size of the bottles that you'll need as well. So some will be for bigger bottles, some will be smaller. You need to just double check and make sure you're getting the right size bottle. So this bottle here was for 500 millilitres, and these little glass ones are also 500 millilitres, which just helped me to find the right size for the bottle. Now on my counters I've got my hand and dish soap with a handy trusty nail brush, and I've got a little cleaning caddy which I like to keep handy, and it's just got some sponges. It's got my cream cleaner, so that's another thing, but I wanted that in a bottle, which I bought from IKEA. I've got my spray, as I said, and my brush over there, and I've also got hand cream hiding behind there. So I also needed some larger containers. I'm going to fill the liquid detergent. I haven't done that yet. And I wanted to put that on some sort of little stand, so I found that. And I just thought it's easier because I'm constantly washing a house full of children. I've got 3 boys, so they're always keeping me busy, and my husband, so of course we have a lot of washing, so it's so much easier and convenient to have that little tap there. I've got my Delicates detergent for things like silk and wool, and we've got our little scent boosters, and I've popped that in there, which there's only a little bit in there, but that's fine. I also found these little things for bits and bobs, these little trunks, which I thought was super cute. And I've also got my kindling for our log fire, and I've got the dryer balls and clothespins, which I just thought looked nice. And I've got the bicarb of soda, which was a small little jar, and I just liked it, and I thought it balanced that quite well. So also try and think about what you actually need in each cupboard. So for me, I've got my dryer sheets up there. I know it's a bit random because they're with the candles and all the sort of cleaning stuff there, but that's okay. I don't actually mind the order of that. And in this one I've got my first aid box, some pens and scissors and things, hand sanitizer, and I've got my my little spinny thing with some essential oils. I've also got, that's marked wrong actually, it shouldn't say kitchen towels, so I'm going to swap that over. That's actually my hot water bottles. I've got batteries in that one, and then I've got bulbs, tape and shoe cleaners in this cupboard. So this is very much in the main cupboards because I wanted everything to be accessible. You know, of course you would organise it how it fits with your family. So we've got our towels, we've got tea towels, we've got cloths, and we've got sponges, and we've got tissues in that one up there. So that's our little top setup. In the bottom here, as I've shown you just a minute ago, I have got spare things like bin bags, kitchen roll, and I've got some of my outdoor things for the garden. I've got a spare jar there which will have some washing powder in there eventually when I go and buy some. So that's all spare things in there. And then under my sink I've got just a housekeeper's box which has just got lots of random bits in it. I've got my little peg thing for socks and things like that. And I've got all the spare bits and bobs in there. Now, I am still looking for some containers, so this is an ongoing project. You know, like for example, here I've got my little citric acid, which has been in a little jar that I've been using for a while. But I'm looking for just the right sized tub to put that in, and also the right style before I put my sticker on it. And then finally, this cupboard. So I've got bits and bobs and junk that I'm really not going to be using anytime at the moment. We've got our, I've just got some cleaning stuff in there, and the iron actually sits there, but the iron's upstairs at the moment. I've got gloves in here, and I've just got some pumps and things in there. That's the hats and scarves and gloves. That at the moment is just a spare tub. And at the bottom I've got my shopping bags all folded up nicely, and I've got my plastic bags which are also folded up nicely. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. They fit nicely in there, so I'm quite happy with those. And that's it. Okay, so moving on. So once you've worked out what type of containers you're going to get and you found them, good place to look is Amazon, as we know. But there are other places, and I've been to BM stores in England, of course, might not be available elsewhere, but BM stores, Dunham's, Dunham Mills. I've looked in Next, I've looked Home Bargains, I've looked in, where else did I go? TK Maxx. So there's lots of places which are budget friendly but also can look quite nice as well. Have a good shop around. I would suggest you measure your cupboards just to make sure you've got, you know, enough space to fit your different things in. Now, for example, the little boxes that I wanted for my plastic bags and my shopping bags, I had to make sure that I could have two baskets next to each other within the cupboard space. So I measured my cupboard to make sure that I had the right size. So you would want to get two next to each other if you want to do exactly what I did. So you'd halve it and maybe take a centimetre off each side, just so that you've got enough room to move the box without scraping your cupboards. So just little planning steps like that will help you to make your decisions into choosing your boxes. Okay, once you've got all your boxes and you've decided what you're going to get for which product, I would then suggest you to start designing your labels. You can get ready-made labels from I think Etsy sells so many different types of nice ready-made labels, or create your own if you have a printer that will print out those types of labels. I strongly suggest you get waterproof labels just because they are a bit more long lasting and they stick really well. Plus they're not going to peel off the minute you get, if a bit of water gets on it. Being a utility room, that's going to happen, so I did spend that little bit more to get the waterproof stickers. The other thing I would suggest is, if you are designing your own, a really good app, and the app that I use to design mine is called Canva. And that is such a good app. You can design so many different things on there. You can design them exactly how you want. And I wanted to put our surname and our name on there, so I just thought it would be a nice finishing touch. But you know, of course, you don't have to do that step. I think if you don't want to spend and buy labels, if you do have just normal sticky tape labels, you can do that as well and just write in block capitals, and you can just make your labels look nice like that too. So that's it really. I think step 5 is obviously fill it all up and put it all away. You might find that you jiggle things around. You know, some things may not necessarily fit in the same spot that you know, in the spot that you had actually set aside for that item. So it might be worth jigging it around and seeing where it fits, and also gives you a chance to really think about how you're utilising your cupboards. And that's it, my friends. I think when you've done it, it's such a relief, and it is a bit contagious, and you feel like doing the rest of your rooms as well. I am going to move on to our bedroom next, which I'm not looking forward to because I've got to take all the clothes out, and I've got so many. But that's a video for another time. I thank you ever so much for watching. I will return to doing a few more crafting videos. As of next week, I'll be in my office a little bit more, and I will give you a little tour of what I've done so far. I do want to show you other things I've made, and I've got lots of fab ideas for future videos. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.